Hi everybody, it's Kathy Lanham with KathyLanham.com, here to help you become the best version of yourself you can be by developing your God-given gifts and talents so that you can bring your unique voice to the world. And today we're going to be talking about calendar blocking. Since we can't make time, we have to find time. And that deal is calendar blocking. So I hope you will grab your pen, your journal, favorite beverage, and get ready to learn alongside us. It's Kathy Lanham, so I'm so glad you're here with us today, where we're going to be talking about the magic sauce of goal setting, and that is calendar blocking, goal setting 2.0. So we've talked about grabbing ourselves a word of the year to help us focus and hone in and to keep us moving forward, propels us forward. So goals are dreams with a deadline. We kind of talked about that in another video as well. So today we're going to talk about how do we make those dreams actually come to fruition. So anytime we start a new job, an adventure, a hobby, whatever, we have lots of plans and big goals. But then life happens and reality hits and we start to delay what we know we should be doing, and we start answering the tyranny of the urgent and doing what needs to be done. And when we do that, then our carefully written goals and our color-coded blocks that we're going to talk about, they kind of get pushed to the side, and we have a series of little failures: that failure to perform, failure to get things done, failure to mark it off my list. And we have those little failures, which sets up this nasty little voice in our head that goes something to the tune of, I don't even know why you tried. You know that you're never going to do anything different. Why did you even give it the effort anyway? Well, that was a lot of money wasted. That voice can have all kinds of different ramifications and little scenarios, but you get what I'm talking about, right? Well, what if I told you there was a better way? What if there was a different way? What if there was a system whereby you could stay sane and stay on your course? Well, I'm here to tell you that there is, and it's called calendar blocking. And I get so excited when I talk about it because calendar blocking is what lets you take a plain, dull, and boring calendar that's all pristine white and there's nothing written in it. It transforms this into something that looks like this, where there's colors and there's stars and there's words written and there's excitement and there's life and there's accomplishment. So that's what we're going to talk about today. And I'm going to give you my 3 little steps of implementation. 1 is know your number. 2 is know your time. 3 is know your plan. Okay? Know your goal. Know your goal, know your time. So when you're writing your goals, whether it's to lose 10 pounds, to earn an extra $250 a month, say, maybe it's earn an incentive trip, develop a blog, actually produce your podcast, publish that book, whatever it is, let's see if we can take that goal and give it a number. So in the example of lose 10 pounds, well, you already have your number there. You know that's 10 pounds. Or $250, that means, well, $250. But when we add more nebulous things like earning an incentive trip or publishing a book or publishing a podcast, how do you put a number to that? What do you need to do? Well, to do that, we need to employ a phrase that I coined years ago. I'm sure it's not original to me, but it's one that I've used and it works oh so well, even to this day in my life. And it's called backwards planning. So let's say that you're going to make the great American novel and you need 1,000 pages to be written in a month. Well, then you take that 1,000 pages that you want to end up with and you go backwards to say, okay, what do I have to do to get there from here? Because I am here, and how do I get there? Because sometimes that can seem like a really big gap. So whatever it is that you have as your goal, if you can take that big complex goal and you can break it down into parts and pieces, then that will help you to make that manageable. So then that brings me to my second point, which is to know your time. What's the time frame that you have that your goal needs to be reached? Sometimes it's a short-term time, like 1 month. I want to make $250 in 1 month. So that gives you, then you break that down, you have 4 weeks to do $250. So if you divide 250 by 4, do the math, then you can see that you're going to need, what, $65 a month? A week. Didn't do that math, did I? But so you're taking your bigger goal and you're dividing it out and you're making it smaller into goals. And then you're saying, okay, this is what it's going to take me in a year. So let me break that in half. So I need to do this much in 6 months and then break that in half again. I need to do this much in 3 months. And then what do I need to do monthly and then weekly? And when you break it down into a smaller goal like that, then it becomes attainable all of a sudden. And if you can do more in a day, then that helps you make up for the days that you're going to be sick or the days that you don't meet your goals or the time that you have to work extra over at work and you didn't get a chance. So know your number. What is it going to take to achieve whatever the goal is? And then know your time. What's the time frame that you have? And then we're going to actually do the calendar blocking. So third part is to know my plan. So the most important part in any of that is going to be, what are your true priorities? Now, I'm going to guess if you're starting a side hustle and you're taking the time to do some personal development, like watch videos like this, and you want to grow and you want to get there as quickly as possible, you have some pretty big dreams and goals for yourself. And I'm going to guess that you did that for your family or for some freedoms that you don't currently have. So what are your true priorities? We need to get those fleshed out and figured out, because that's the very first thing that's going to go into this calendar. So I'm going to encourage you to if you don't get sidetracked by pretty colors and stickers and markers, then have at it, go out, be as creative as you want to. If sometimes you get derailed by the doodling and the sides by the colors, stick with your blue and black pens and be done with it. Because the deal is you want to achieve, you want to accomplish, you want to mark off your list. So in your calendar, the first thing that you're going to do are the most important things. We're going to keep the main thing the main thing. We're going to put your family obligations, your Bible study, your church obligations, your things that you have to do that you volunteer for, all of that, Little League, doctor's appointments, whatever it is that you have to do this month for your family or for the year, then go ahead, fill it out for the year. If you're in Bible Study Fellowship and you know that's every Wednesday at 4 o'clock, then throughout the entire year, go ahead, Wednesday, 4 o'clock, BSF. If you have a training call that's going to happen for the first 6 weeks of the year with your company, and you know that's Tuesday night, 9 o'clock, put it on the calendar. Tuesday night, 9 o'clock, non-negotiable. Now, that automatically lets me know that cannot be date night for my husband. But brings me to a good point. Date night with hubs. When is that going to be? When are you going to take time for your significant other, your partner, your spouse, your friend, whomever? If it doesn't get written down, it gets overlooked. So you're going to write it down. Time with your kids. You're like, well, I'm with my kids all the time. Well, are you really? So you're going to put in family time. Time that you're going to watch a movie together. You're going to go to the aquarium. You're going to go to the zoo. You're going to do things together as a family in a specific time, not just a, well, we're together time. So when you get all of that down, when you get that done, you're going to then be able to look at and see blank spaces that you could potentially work your business. Now, if you're an entrepreneur and if you're a side hustler, you can work full-time, you can work part-time, you cannot work sometime. You have to show up. You have to do the work. So that's what you're going to do is you're going to find those spots. You're going to find the nooks and crannies, and then you're going to put in a box in there because that's when you can work. That's when you can make calls. Now, we don't want to work at our businesses. We want to work in our businesses. So make it a point that you're actually selling, sharing, serving, whatever your business model is. You want to make sure that you're actually doing it in those times. Okay? So now let's go back to know our number, know my time, and make a plan. Because we've got our calendar now. I know when I can work. I know how much I need to work, and I've backwards planned. So let's say that earning that incentive trip, it's going to cost, I don't know, and your company will have very clearly lined out frequently asked questions and guidelines. So it's from, if your earning potential is from June to January, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, January, then you have 7 months to earn that trip. If it's 10 months, you have 10 months to earn the trip. Whatever it is, it's not going to be like a guessing game that they're going to make you try to guess to see, could you maybe do it? It's going to be very clearly lined out. So you take that dollar amount that you have to sell, and let's just say it's $25,000. So it's $25,000, 3 new team members, and you can do it in 10 months. So take your $25,000, divide that by your 10 months, and that's going to tell you that you have $2,500 you need to do every month. Now, it's always better to front load so that you're not scrambling on the back end. And by front loading, I mean, it's great if you can do $3,000 a month instead of $25,000. Or maybe it's a great month and your company has a fabulous sale and you can do $6,000 in 1 month. That's even better. So as much as you can do in the front end, the better. But you have to do $2,500 every month for 10 months. So then you look at what is the product that you sell and how many do you have to sell to make that dollar amount. So whether it's beauty tech tools, photo storage services, maybe you're doing your own photography business, maybe you're blogging for other people, whatever it is, how much of that do you have to do to equal that amount of $2,500? Now, ideally, you're going to be meeting with groups of people or one-on-ones. You're going to be doing presentations, vendor fairs. Wherever you're coming in contact with people and sharing your product, you're also going to very naturally be offering the opportunity to join your team. So those recruits and those team members should take care of themselves naturally. So hopefully that's the deal. Now, we cannot make more time, so we have to find time. So one of the ways we do that is by calendar blocking, putting the important things on our calendar and then seeing those nooks and crannies, those bigger spaces where we can work. Now, I am going to give you a couple 6, 7 tips here on ways to find some time that you maybe hadn't thought of. So first is hire a helper. Delegate what you hate. So let's say that I hate paperwork and I have a gal that's in church with me that is an accountant and would love a little extra money, or she would like to barter goods for her time. Then let's do that. I did that one time, and my paperwork that took me hours to do, and I was just like, okay, I don't care. I will pay her 10 hours worth of product to get this done. She finished it in like an hour and a half and said, is there anything else? No, there's nothing else. So if somebody's really good at it, it takes them way less time than it takes you. And if you hate to do it, then it's worth the investment to give that over. The others, hire a mother's helper. Switch out with another entrepreneur. You watch her children one day, she watches yours. College kids are broke. They love a good home-cooked meal and may be happy to come play with your kids for a couple of hours. Now, I'm not talking days, but a couple of hours. They can take your kids to the library or the zoo or just outside to play. Next is, what about using all the technology that you can possibly use? Click It services to buy your groceries. Why take 4 screaming kids into the grocery store if you don't have to? Order online, click, pay, go pick it up, come home, voila, dinner's done. Next is leave your house to go to your office. This one's huge. If you can't afford to go to a Starbucks or a Panera, then go to your local library. It's absolutely free, and they have study rooms, and their internet's usually kicking too. So it's great. But if you leave your house to go to your office, then you can get much more done in a shorter amount of time because you're focused and you can get it done. There's no kids. And then ditch your habits that are mindless. And I would say that would be social media, playing games on your phone, binge watching TV, or having a Tuesday night, this is my night of shows. I don't know what night The Bachelor comes on or whatever the show happens to be at the moment. But consider getting rid of those. Consider instead developing yourself with personal development and by spending time working in your business. Also, what about when you're looking at all the things that you have to do in your calendar and in your month? Group the like things. So instead of calling one hostess, one consultant, and 3 customers a day, what if you call all of your hostesses in one day? That makes your script so much easier. You're making one phone call, you're getting better as you go, and then you're knocking them out. And then you don't feel guilty if you miss a day. And you're like, oh, well, there goes all my clients, so I didn't call anybody today. Knock that right out of the ballpark and come and do like things at the same time. And then automate in every place possible. If you can possibly do it or have somebody else do it for a fairly reasonable price, it is worth it. And that would be CRM systems, an email management system, somebody that can handle your social media posts, anything you can automate, you need to automate. And then last but not least, make dates with yourself and with your spouse. Because if you don't take care of yourself, you have nothing to give. And if you don't take care of your spouse or your partner, your significant other, then there's nothing left for the family. So I want to encourage you to take hold of this concept of calendar blocking with both hands. So my challenge is, if you do not have a calendar, get a calendar. Write your word of the year up top, write your goals very clearly, and put those timestamps on there, because a goal without a timeline is just a wish. And that is certainly not unique to me. But I want to encourage you to go out and be a blessing, because when you're a blessing to others, you can't help but be blessed in return. Have a great day. Thanks for stopping in. And of course, as always, if you like this video, please share it with your friends. Take care, and I would love to see your comments. Take care.